Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to episode 13.
12, 13, 14.
Numbers are arbitrary.
Episode quarantine. Oh my gosh. So today we're talking about top 10 fitness trends.
Or something.
For 2020, according to the American College of Sports Medicine.
We're also talking about TikTok influencers and following their workouts / self-promo of our own online workouts that we have.
Sure. Okay, so ready? First one. The top trend of 2020 is wearable technology, and it's been a top trend since 2016. So this is like your fitness trackers, your smartwatches, heart rate monitors, GPS tracking devices. Do you guys use any of those things?
Negative.
I've been wanting to, but they were so expensive at the start. And they're still kind of expensive. Like, not as prohibitive as they used to be, but they're still up there for the good ones with the heart rate monitor and the
Yeah. It depends for sure.
I don't have one because I hate trends. And I also didn't really see the use and the value in them because a lot of those are most beneficial to people that run, like in a competitive sense, so that they can gauge their intensity level and that sort of thing. And I don't do that. Not saying that's the only way to use it, but that's like what, in my opinion, in my estimation, that's how I see it as supposed to have been used.
Mm-hmm.
But so for that reason, I don't, nor do I want one. I mean, it's useful to like be able to look down at your wrist and see your heart rate or whatever, but for my purposes, it doesn't really help me.
You know who's a big proponent of them?
Who?
Dr. Len Kravitz is actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in terms of tracking your NEAT, basically, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Because, okay, so I have sort of a long-running history with them because in my short stint in a PhD program, I assisted with research on the jawbones. Do you remember those? They don't even exist anymore. It went out of business. It was like, it didn't have any words or anything. It was just a little band, and it tracked your steps and your sleep. So I helped with basically making sure that the information it was giving you was accurate, and they were testing its waterproofness as well. But because of that, I went through a couple of jawbones. Jawbone originally made speakers, so they're probably still around for speakers. At a certain point,
yeah.
At a certain point, they just stopped working. Whether it was because, maybe that's why they went out of business. They just stopped working, and then I kind of fell off with those. But it was a nice little reminder, like, hey, you really haven't gotten up at all today. Like, sure, you worked out, but working out doesn't replace your sedentary lifestyle for the rest of the day. But this is another thing Dr. Len Kravitz says, is that you don't really need to buy one, because if you're walking around all day with your phone on you, that the phone step trackers that you can get are accurate enough, at least to gauge whether you're moving as much as you usually do or not, kind of a thing. So if you want one, get a good one that isn't gonna die on you, I guess. Do you think you would get one now, Andres, or do you think you would just use like one of the apps on your phone?
Oh, I definitely am considering getting one, especially after today, because I started to try to run faster to increase my intensity because I don't want to lose my speed. But having that phone, like, throws off my balance. Like even if it's so
Mm.
light, I'm just still like I'm still leaning a little bit too much to the right, or
Yeah.
I'm focusing too much on like holding the phone, and I can't like go all out.
Mhm.
So I've been trying to find like a replacement to that.
Yeah.
And then like if I don't carry the phone with me, I don't have what's it called? Like a way to listen to music. And like I can't run / work out without music. It's like
Maybe you don't need a tracker. Maybe you just need a better way to hold your phone. Because you're
or like
gonna need your phone for music, yeah.
this is true.
I don't know, like a fanny. They have those runner fanny packs, or there's the armbands. I would probably prefer the fanny pack personally, but
Why the fanny pack over the armband?
um, I have an armband, or I had an armband. It's probably in Connecticut still, and I just felt like it was really sort of clunky and heavy. Whereas some of the, I mean, I see these really flat-lying waist bands. It's more of a band than like a thick fanny pack kind of a thing, and it just seems like really unobtrusive, I guess. I always walk around with the dog treat bag on, and it doesn't bother me too much. So I assume that one of those bags made specifically for running would be even less in the way.
Yeah, this is true.
I want to get a new one. So I actually have a polar heart rate monitor that I've had for years at this point. It's around here somewhere. The chest strap monitors and the armband monitors are more accurate if your main goal is to look at like your heart rate during your workout. The chest strap and the armband are more accurate for that. But I just don't find myself, it doesn't do the steps.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just keep forgetting to put it on before I work out.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather have the armband to the chest strap, because it's kind of like a whole thing. Like, okay, it's basically like wearing two bras at the same time as well when you're using the chest strap instead of an armband one. So that's kind of, it's on a wish list, but I don't think I need it. So probably won't get one anytime soon, but it would be cool. Yeah.
A piece of exercise. I think accessory is the wrong word, but equipment would be that I am now going to get, which I didn't want before because I didn't see a need for it.
Wait, don't tell me. I
You
want to
already know what
guess.
it is.
No,
Yeah.
I want to guess.
Okay, guess.
I already know what it is. Is it squat shoes? No.
Close.
Don't tell me. A belt.
A belt. Because when I PR'd on conventional deadlift like last Friday, and the day after that, I did core work too, and in doing that, I was using my neck a lot, so my like rear traps were sore, like super sore, and my low back was like really really sore, not hurt, just like really sore.
Yeah.
And it stayed like that until like it was still sore yesterday. And I was trying to squat yesterday, and I wasn't even squatting super heavy, like 255 or something, and it just felt horrible. Like my low back was just like in utter just agony. And then Morgan was in there squatting with me, and she was like, just like try my belt. So I put her belt on and like used the belt properly, and I was like, oh, this is completely better.
Honestly, though.
So yeah, so I'm gonna get a belt now because
Okay.
I see the light, and I also understand like why to use a belt. Because like I literally would brace the same way I would brace normally, but it's like I would need someone to hold my waist for me to feel the same like response that a belt provides. Because it's like I didn't change anything except for the feeling of the squat. Like I braced the same way and did everything the same. It's just a lot
Yeah.
easier to actually keep that tension if you have a belt. So it's just like
Yeah, a lot of people think like, oh, if you have a belt, you're not going to use your abs.
that's making me use my abs more because it's actually like I can feel that they're working. And it's not like you couldn't feel it before, but it's like a cue that like Dave Tate talks about is break the belt. And that really helps me because it's like, okay, if I'm pushing against this all around, then I know that everything is braced. And that's really easy for me to think of at the bottom, because if I lose it at the bottom, then it's very obvious because the belt is like I'm not against the belt. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Morgan's belt,
Which, sorry,
what?
go ahead.
I was gonna say Morgan's belt, literally the very last 2 holes was where I could put it, and I couldn't even like put the belt through the little like loop thing, so it was just in
Oh
the
my
last 2
goodness.
holes.
That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to get your own belt.
yeah, I'm gonna get mine.
So number 4 on the list is training with free weights as a top fitness trend. Previous surveys included a category called strength training, which was too broad of a category. So free weights includes barbells, kettlebells, dumbbells, medicine ball exercises. Um, yeah, so basically progressive resistance exercise, training with free weights. That is a fitness trend, as it
Is that a
always
fitness
should be,
trend?
right?
I thought that was just like normal.
So I think when you think trend, you think like, okay, hot right now and then it's gonna leave. But this is American College of Sports Medicine, so it's just like what is popular right now, and it could be a trend every single year for the next 3 decades.
Hmm.
So I mean, of course, training with free weights, right?
Yeah, that seems
Hopefully, that's the
that seems
goal.
pretty ubiquitous, but yeah, I guess it's like a
I have my
classification thing.
8-pound one right here.
Why does it still have the
Yeah, I was gonna say,
packaging
why
on
does it still
it?
have the thing on it? You don't even
I-
lift, bro.
It's 8 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, go ahead and right now on camera, take off that little cardboard thing, please.
He's gonna return it at the end of
I'm gonna
quarantine.
return it after the quarantine. I can't. It's stuck.
Oh god.
Okay.
Okay, next one. High intensity interval training.
Yes, hit good.
So yeah, short bursts of high intensity bouts followed by a short rest period. It's been a trend for it kind of like ebbs and flows basically. Um, so emphasizing intensities above 90% in those max intensity periods, and sometimes even super maximal. And you may be thinking, how do you do that? But it is possible. But it's good. Why is it good?
Because it gives you basically all of the benefits that um, LSD, long slow distance, or like steady state cardio would give you, but in a
Hmm.
really condensed time frame.
Did you do LSD today, Andres?
Yes, I did partake in LSD in the woods.
Oh.
No, but yeah, so it's been hard not having a treadmill because like I use the treadmill to like set the pace for me to run,
Mhm.
and since this new trail has like inclines and declines, and it's like 3 miles, and it doesn't do it consistently. It's not like it's like incline, decline, incline, decline. It's like incline, incline, decline, flat, incline, decline.
So that might not
So
be
it's like,
high intensity interval training, but it's some type of interval training at least.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's good because it breaks up what you're used to, which is
Yeah.
never a bad thing necessarily.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, and
And
as
if it
long as you're
feels harder, it's probably better for you.
right, because the more you put into your workout, the more you're
More you
gonna
get
get
out.
out of your workout. Yeah. I think that it's really easy. Like, it's not to say that you shouldn't ever do moderate intensity or long, slow distance training, but if your only training is like stepping on the treadmill or walking around the track, watching a YouTube video, watching Netflix, you're probably not doing yourself any justice with that.
Hmm.
So especially if you are used to those types of training, mixing it up And shortening the time so you have time to do the rest of your life is a good thing.
That's
All
the thing
right.
that I like the best about it is that I used to run like
Mhm.
distance,
Mhm.
and it would always be like more mentally taxing to actually go out there and do it
Mhm.
than just being like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do a Tabata, and it's like I'm done in 4 minutes. It's like I don't even have
Right.
time to dread it, really. It's just like
Right.
I do it and then it's done.
And it's like, okay, the work interval is only 20 seconds long, so let me kill myself for 20 seconds because it's only 20 seconds.
Hmm.
Okay, the next one is group training. So basically, indoor training, cardio-based classes, and indoor cycling, dance-based classes. Clearly not for everybody, but
Yeah, I think if training with someone is the only way you'll train in any way, then definitely do that. But, some people, like for me, it depends because it's nice to have a like a training partner sometimes, but
mhm,
then sometimes I just like want to get in there and get out and just be done with it and not
mhm.
like interact with anyone.
Well, a good training partner will
Will not talk to you for 3 hours at a time.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, Andres, you're a group fitness instructor, but
Yeah.
you also go to the gym sometimes.
Mhm.
What do you prefer?
I I like teaching because it's like gives me that sense of like community, and it's like group fitness is typically for, I'm not gonna say all group fitness classes are typically for lower end, but it's like typically an introduction to fitness. So there's no pressure to like overexert yourself. You're doing it for the fun, you're doing it for the cardio. It's a nice, delightful environment. And then
Mhm.
whenever I go into the gym to do weights, I take it, I like to be in the zone and be by myself and like going as much as I can. Um,
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, some group fitness classes are certainly very challenging, and they should be, regardless of whether you're a beginner or not. But I get what you're saying about beginners being attracted to group fitness classes because you have somebody there telling you what to do, usually for free as a part of your fitness membership. So it's not like you have to pay separately for a personal trainer or anything like that. So that can be comforting to some people. I really like teaching because it motivates me to push hard because I have to be a good example. Back when I was in grad school, I taught a ton of classes, so I never worked out alone because there literally was no time. And so then when I got out of grad school, I'm like, okay, now I feel really unmotivated because I have to work out alone for the first time ever, basically. So, but obviously, I got used to it. Now it's very good because you can focus on yourself. Next up, very appropriate for right now, body weight training.
Uh, I think bodyweight training definitely has its place. I also think it's really not stigmatized necessarily, but I think people like to scoff at it. Like, oh, like why would I do push-ups if I can do like a bench press or a chest press or something like that? But there's something to be said about the difficulty in those because I think a lot of people undervalue how difficult bodyweight exercises can actually be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, I started with body weight training before I got into strength training, and that wasn't on purpose, though I would recommend for most people to do that because just as a principle, it makes sense for you to be able to control your own body before adding weight to it,
Hmm.
because otherwise, what are you doing?
Hmm.
Um, and there's so many, I just like being creative with it, um, and I don't know. I just think it can be really fun and really good for accessories. So I think it's appropriate for beginners and also for more advanced strength athletes to sort of test out what their weaknesses are, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Andres, what do you think?
I initially could not support my body weight because I was like 250 and I
Wow.
literally could not finish a push-up / do it in proper form
Mhm.
/ we had to go against a wall, right? The first time we tried to teach me how to do it.
I think so. I mean, that's fine. You gotta do what
Yeah.
you gotta do.
But after like losing weight, I'm like I weighed myself today. I'm at 192.
Wow.
I
Nice.
can now move a bit more and I feel more comfortable doing body weight.
You've definitely gotten stronger too, though. It's not that just that you've lost weight.
Yeah, I can now do 5 push-ups.
Not as many, not as many dumbbells are stuck anymore. Let's see, what didn't we mention? Okay, we didn't mention personal training and exercise as medicine.
Personal training.
Andres has a good story. Go for it. Say the words.
Don't pay more than, I would say, I don't know like how to articulate, like, because there is some value to getting a personal trainer, but make sure you're not overpaid.
Well, there is potential value. It just depends on who the personal trainer is and what you want from them.
Yeah. I definitely overpaid.
Your trainer just seemed like a plain old idiot. You probably wouldn't have felt like you overpaid if it was an expert.
Yeah, someone that was actually like doing something to help you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because when I was working at Lifetime Fitness, it was $80 a session, and it's not uncommon for it to be that at some places. But there's certainly good trainers and bad trainers, and it, again, like you said, it depends on what you're looking to get out of it. If you're just looking for accountability, which it kind of sounds like that's what you were looking for at the time.
Yeah, at the time I was looking for accountability.
So, okay, there was somebody there to be like, hey, we're working out at this time, and that's what you needed. So maybe it was worth it in a way.
This is true. It was a heavy burn, though.
Well, see, the more investment you have in it, the more committed you got to be.
This is very true.
Very true.
I think we did a different podcast on things to ask your personal trainer, right? To make sure that they're not an idiot.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then exercise is medicine. Basically, that's a global initiative that focuses on encouraging primary healthcare physicians and other healthcare providers to include physical activity assessment and including physical activity as part of treatment for certain diseases for every single patient, basically. Not even necessarily if they have a disease, but to prevent those diseases. And that's a fact of everything. I mean, we know that exercise and being physically active can prevent a host of diseases. So,
well, potentially we know that. If
We-
you don't, you should come to my Healthy Eating on a Budget seminar on the 15th. Haha.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yep. You should come to that anyway.
You should come to that anyway.
I need to. I kind of had to go into a vegan-ish diet.
Is that like Vegemite?
Almost. Yeah, I developed an ulcer, and they were like, no caffeine, no alcohol,
Whoa.
And you're like, well, guess I'll just die.
sugar, nothing spicy, nothing with fat, and nothing like oily. They're like, all of that needs to go away. So I've been eating oats for the last week for breakfast and dinner.
Well, that's certainly cheap.
And yeah, it's bad. I can't buy it. Like, I was
Like
yeah.
like I was saying to Andres when he told me this, I'm like, for someone that loves bland food, how do you hate oats? Like
Why?
oats are
Well, you could eat
and
rice. You could eat plain rice
Oh, I have been eating rice. I've been eating
and
steamed
beans.
rice.
you eat stuff like onions. I guess you wouldn't eat that anyway. Onions are
Onions
basically
seem a
like
bit
garlic.
acidic, though, for
Yeah.
this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sucks. How? Stress or?
I have a bacterial infection by H. pylori. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Or
it
like
tested
bad
my
drinking water or something?
probably.
Huh.
But I don't know where it originated. But she was just like, oh, we're gonna take all of this away from you for the next 14 days. See if the antibiotics help. But in the meanwhile, make sure you don't eat any of this, or it's gonna like prolong. And I'm just like,
Are you taking a probiotic?
I started drinking this juice that had probiotics in it,
Uh-huh.
just to help. And I also started eating a lot of yogurt, Activia yogurt.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, this says it's going to kick us off in 3 minutes. I don't know if it's actually going to.
I'm gonna go with yes.
Want to look at a TikTok?
Do I want to? No. Will I? I guess I have to.
Okay. I have not vetted this at all.
Oh boy.
So let's just see what we see, okay? I'm going to randomly choose this quick inner thigh toner.
Uh-oh. It's off to a great start.
Okay. Let's talk about those side lunges right here. That is not low enough. I need more hip hinge. I need the hips to be lower. I need the knees to be less wobbly, more in line with the toes, more stability, slower. The whole thing needs to be slower. What do you think?
Her feet's out of plane, right? Like it's not on the same plane whenever she started doing it. It looks like one of her right foot's a little bit further in front. Or is that okay?
I don't know, it depends. I mean, I'm not innately against that. It looks like she's pronating a tiny bit as she's coming up. She's not keeping, yeah, she's pronating a little bit in her right foot, which is the side she's bending towards.
Also, why am I taking fitness advice from this person?
Because
they have
blah
abs
Pilates.
now. They
Oh,
have
she's very famous. I've seen her on YouTube. Some of her other stuff is good. This is just not Pilates, though.
This is also not good.
This is also not good, okay?
This is
Everybody,
garbage.
good listening. Okay,
Why are all of
let's
these
look
videos
at this
the
one.
same?
Love handles. Oh no. This is so bad. Andres, you watch this?
Yes.
This whole movement, like putting a plate by the side of your leg, I've seen people do that unironically. Like, what are you doing?
Okay,
Also,
so
can we talk
those
about
bird
how much
dogs.
hyperextension her back is doing?
Yes, that's what is driving me nuts. Okay. And her back is coming off the floor there as well. This should not happen. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but that like dip in the back should not be there at all. I think it needs to be slower, more controlled, more squeezing. Or
Yeah,
that
her
pace
whole
is fine if you can do it right.
yeah, but she's doing it very wrong.
She's doing it so wrong.
Also, that is stupid. Don't do that. Just do the machine or just do something else.
That's stupid. You could use a band even.